All right. So I've got another story, which I think is very funny. But this week, I'm on Camp Johnson. And for those of you who are not in the Marine Corps or on the East Coast, Camp Johnson is a school or a base where there's a lot of schools for young Marines when they're done with boot camp and they're done with their MCT or whatever Universal Studios infantry introduction non-infantry guys go through. So everyone on the camp is very young. And last time I was there was like 7 years ago, and it was raining also. So the other weird thing about the base is now on my memory, every time I'm there, there's Marines wearing their camouflage utilities and then their all-weather coat, which is basically like a fancy trench coat. So like something that you would maybe think of like someone on Wall Street wearing. So everyone looks insane. So they're wearing camouflage uniform and then an overcoat over the top, like a banker. So just absolutely bonkers. And then the base hasn't been repaired since Florence. So there's all these abandoned buildings with the siding ripped off. It just insanity. So all these young Marines aren't used to seeing officers ever. So like I get out of my car or whatever, I'm trying to go across the street to get into the classroom the class I'm going to. So then they're all staring and they all stop in their tracks, and then like one will be like, good morning, sir, and that starts a chain reaction of just 1,000 prepubescent voices. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And so it's like really weird, and I run away and try to get inside the building. So then this morning I go to the exchange, and because it's kind of like a weird mini vacation because I'm not at my normal work because I'm going to a school, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to go to the exchange and I'm going to get like one of those tornadoes that's like French toast with a sausage in the middle, or like a muffin, and just I go crazy. All kinds of stuff that I would not normally eat. Whenever I do these little things, it's like, I don't know why, because it's not a mini vacation like I just described. It's a weird hell world with people wearing overcoats and their camouflage utilities and abandoned buildings all over the place. Anyway, so I go in a little exchange, and then like all the PFCs, privates, like notice there's a captain in there, and so then like everyone gets weird, and like they think that I'm gonna be mad that they're playing grab ass, but I'm not mad, man. I just want to get my tornado and get out of here. And so everyone starts freezing in place, like I'm some sort of wizard, and everybody's stuck and nobody's moving. And so it's like me and prepubescent child soldier, and then the tornado, and he's not moving, and they're all staring at me, and he's thinking I'm going to yell at him or something, but I just want him to be a normal human being and move out of the way after he's done getting his muffin or tornado or whatever, and he's not moving, and no one's moving. No one is moving, like a TikTok challenge. Everybody's frozen. And so I have to be like a weird Hollywood version of a Marine, and I have to be like, oh, carry on, gentlemen. And then the kid gets out of the way and I can carry on. But this happened to me once before, and it caused bodily harm to other people 2 times. So like 2012, I'm in California at the LAR Leaders Course at School of Infantry. So again, these kids are even younger, straight out of boot camp at their SOI schools, and I'm walking, and again, it's always going to get breakfast, and these dudes had just gotten done with a class in an auditorium that's off to the right of the sidewalk I'm walking on. And whenever they get done with a class, I can only imagine that all their instructors are yelling at them to move quickly because they don't have time and they got to get to the next thing, which was probably breakfast. So, or maybe it was lunch, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. People were running and screaming. So I am walking in front of the double doors of this auditorium, and I don't know that there's anything going on in there. And those doors fly open, pow! And the kids are running. And the kid in front sees me, and I I look at him. He sees I'm an officer. He freezes up. He goes to parade rest, so legs spread, arms behind the back, eyes wide, fear. And all the other kids slam into the back of this kid. And they all fall down. And they're all like in a pile. And I'm like, oh my God. And I continue on walking quickly. And I don't know what happened. But that kid got crushed. And then that same time, like a couple days later, I'm walking on the sidewalk. And there's a kid across the road on the other sidewalk. And he sees me. And he's looking at me. And he's looking at me. And I'm looking at him. So he's like saluting. He's not breaking eye contact. And I salute him back. And I finish my salute. He doesn't stop saluting. And he keeps walking. And he doesn't stop eye contact. And he doesn't see where he's going. And he trips on the curb. And he falls. And he doesn't just fall. He falls on his face because his hand is up here. And he's looking at me. And his other hand's to the back. And this kid falls on his face. And all like, oh, and then I'm like, oh my God, I can't be in these places because that's 2 kids I hurt. And then, and then fast forward today and the weird overcoat kids and everybody frozen in fear. And I'm just trying to get a tornado. So I don't know what, I mean, I get it because I was once a junior person and you're scared of everyone because you're indoctrinated into how the Marine Corps works and that's how it's got to be. But, no one thought about me many years later and trying to get a tornado in peace. No one thought about that. And so that's been my TED Talk.